Morning. Doing great. How are you? Good. Well, first of all, let me just say that I think it's an honor, certainly a privilege for us to have the opportunity to be in the national championship game. I think it's a tribute to our players, our coaches, for the job that they've done all year long to create an opportunity for themselves and obviously playing, I think, one of the best teams in college football in the University of Georgia, and their staff and their players certainly deserve to be congratulated for all that they've been able to accomplish this year. The question is what's unique about Georgia's running game? I think, first of all, they do a really good job in terms of their system and scheme, in terms of how they try to attack people. Their offensive line has certainly created an identity up front. They've got two great running backs, do a really good job with the play-action passes. Their quarterback has been very efficient and effective. So the combination of the balance that they create with the running game and their ability to throw the ball down the field, whether it's RPOs or play-action passes, makes them very difficult to defend. Well, that's certainly the goal. That's what you'd like to do. I think everybody would like to finish strong. That's the goal for what we'd like to do. I think when you play in an emotional game like that, which both teams played, no doubt, it's a challenge for each individual to sort of act like you want to be, to come up with the energy, the enthusiasm, to go out there and play with confidence, not only in when the game comes, but in how you prepared for the game. I cannot hear you. Well, I think it speaks a lot of a team's competitive character when they put themselves in a position where they have to keep playing and coming back in the game. But I don't think you get to this point if your team doesn't have that, and they certainly showed it, in that particular game. It was a great football game, and they certainly made the plays when they needed to, whether it was 2 minutes at the end of the game or big plays to get back in the game. No question. I think the guy has played extremely well all year long, been very efficient, very effective as a passer, does a great job of executing their offense, put them in the right plays, very smart, great understanding, good decision maker, distributes the ball correctly almost all the time. And he's been accurate and efficient in the way he's done it. I don't think that any system where you have to make a subjective decision about who gets in and who doesn't could be totally fair, because it's subjective. And I think there's all these factors that get taken into consideration, whether it's strength of schedule, conferences, whatever, conference championships. I mean, you know a lot more about this than I do. So I can't really answer that to say that it's fair. If we had a system where it was foolproof in terms of what you had to do to qualify, then I think you could say that it's fair. But as long as it's subjective, it can't be totally fair. I mean, I think everybody's intention is that it's totally fair, and they do it with great integrity and honesty in terms of how they pick. But I think as long as it's subjective, somebody's going to have an opinion of maybe how it could have been done another way. I mean, I always talk about the basketball tournament. They pick, 68 teams? And then you all have a 2-hour show on who didn't get in and who got in and all that. So it wouldn't make any difference how many teams got in. It'd always be speculation as to who could have or maybe should have. Raekwon Davis has done an outstanding job for us all year long. Really a conscientious, hard-working player who has made a tremendous amount of improvement, has a better understanding of what he's required to do to be an effective player, and has shown a lot of discipline and able to do that on a more consistent basis now. So, and his production has gone up because of that. Well, Kirby's an outstanding coach. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He did a fabulous job for us for the years that he was with us, and I think the results that he got in whatever his role was, certainly showed that he's very, very capable in terms of leadership and being responsible to get people to play at a high standard. And I certainly think that he's done that, as a head coach now. And I think it's, a real tribute to him, his staff, the leadership that they have, and the players that have all bought into what they're trying to do to be able to get in this position. Look, it really doesn't mean anything to me. My number one goal is that, and the thing that I don't sleep well at night thinking about, is how do we get our players in the best position to be able to go play their best football game, whether it's how we get them motivated to do it, how we practice them to do it, the game plan that we put in for them to do it. I mean, these guys, these coaches, these players have really put a lot forward, made a lot of sacrifices, worked really hard to have the opportunity to be where they are. And this game's not really about me. All right, it's about all of them, and trying to put them in the best position that they possibly be in to have a chance to be successful. Well, that was part of it. That we had an opportunity that we didn't succeed at. Not wasting a failure is all about what can we learn from that experience. And I think that we learned a lot, not just in the way we played in the last game, but throughout the whole course of the season. And I thought the players responded pretty well in that game. The real challenge will be, can we duplicate, that kind of energy in this game? Well, Jake was an outstanding player, very productive in high school, great leader, had a lot of success on the field, came to our camp and was very, very, accurate, efficient, effective, right personality, got the right stuff. No doubt that he had all the ingredients and intangibles that you're looking for a guy to lead your team and be your quarterback. And, we were disappointed that we didn't get him, but he's certainly done an outstanding job with the opportunity that he has right now. Look, I have great respect for the office of the President of the United States, and it would be an honor, whoever was in that position, if they chose to come to see the College Football National Championship game. Well, we've had several guys that have been great assistants for us that have gone on to be head coaches, and one of the things that I always, say to them when they get the opportunity is, be who you are, and do things like you believe. And I think Kirby has done that, and I think he's done it extremely well. If there's something that he learned philosophically from the way we do things that has been beneficial to him, I guess that would be apparent to anyone in terms of what his philosophy is and how he tries to do things. But I also think that he's done a good job of being who he is. Well, Levi is a very conscientious guy. He really works hard. He's done it for a long time in his career. He's come a long way in his career, and has certainly taken advantage of the opportunity that he has, and has been a very consistent performer for us. And certainly appreciate all that he's done to develop into the kind of player that he is. But he's also a great ambassador and leader on the team for his teammates, and I think one of the most well-liked guys on our team. Well, I think that's always really important. I think turning the ball over is probably one of the most significant statistics in football relative to winning and losing. So to be able to take care of the ball without being risk aversive to the point where you're afraid to try to make a play is important. And I think turnovers will be probably important in this game. And I do agree with you that Jalen has done a really good job in terms of ball security and decision making and taking care of the football for us this year. They're probably as good as I can ever remember. Those two guys are fantastic players. They complement each other very well. They're both relentless type competitors. They're outstanding players, and I'm sure they're going to have great careers, beyond college. They've been very, very productive. I mean, they are. I can't say enough about how I feel about and how much respect I have for what they've been able to accomplish and what they've done this year. I got enough to worry about our team. I'm sure their coaching staff is capable enough of making right decisions for what they do. I'm worried about what we're going to do in practice today. I'm worried about our team. I think focus is really important to get refocused on, what you want to accomplish and what you want to do, and try to get the team ready and try to get them to refocus and recenter very quickly. It is a little bit of a unique circumstance because you're not just in a playoff game, you're at a bowl game, and you've been there for a long time, and you come home and have to immediately, get back into another preparation. So maturity of players is very important in terms of how do they manage that, how they handle that. And you never really know if you did it correctly until you get out there and start playing and see how everybody responds. Well, first of all, Kirby was always on my team. So we weren't playing against each other. We were playing with each other. I'm kind of the commissioner of the league when we play basketball, so I kind of pick my team based on who's there to play. I also pick the guy on the other team that's going to guard me, and I call all the fouls. So we don't lose much. But I do agree that this game is not about this game's about the players. I mean, these players have all worked hard to have an opportunity on both sides to be in a position that they're in, and they're the ones that are going to play the game, and we're all going to have to live with whatever happens in the game. But the game is really about the players, and that should be the focus of the game, in my opinion.